The only team. I think you guys have like a 5-6 or something like that record.
And
3-4.
both of the Manning brothers are a 5-1 against Tom Brady in the playoffs and Super Bowls, and everybody else is now 2-15 against
Dude,
him
the only two quarterbacks he's lost against is Nick Foles and Eli Manning.
in the Super Bowl.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah, in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was our team's fucking backup quarterback, Nick Foles, that beat him. Oh, dude, that shit was crazy.
that was pretty nasty.
Wait, you're an Eagles fan too?
I'm an Eagles fan, actually. Yeah.
What?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm an Eagles fan,
dude. Let's go Birds,
dude. I remember when it was Michael Vick and he would fucking throw the football and fall for no reason. And
my god, Backman, Deshaun Jackson,
on my boy
Michael
Mike
Vick,
baby.
Mike Vick, Deshaun Jackson, and McCoy, dude. The fucking fly squad. They were so fast.
It's so crazy to me still that McNabb was the one that vouched for Vic coming on the team and then
McNabb
lost his job to him.
I honestly still think that like if we had Andy Reid with like Carson Wentz or some other quarterback besides McNabb and Vic, like we would have still done really, really, really well.
Yeah.
I think our coaching staff just boomed this year.
Well, Kofta, full disclosure, I am very bad at these podcasts. I just talk a lot of bullshit, and I'll only be here for probably about half an hour, but I'm here.
That's kind of what we do, anyways. So I think we're doing the same thing.
I told Knight that I caught a decent amount of the games. I didn't catch every single one.
As long as you caught NA games, you're fine. And sadly for me, I'm a nerd, so I watch all the games, and I have to watch CLG games, so I have to get my insight on CLG.
Dude, the CLG games this weekend were actually interesting in the demoralizing way. You know what I mean? Like it's fun to watch. It is good entertainment to watch.
I really wanted them to beat TSM. Have TSM.
They were winning.
Every single CLG game. Do we want to talk about this now or later? Or what are we doing?
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, we're doing it
first. Yeah, because
CLG
the games.
CLG should be like nicknamed SOS, which stands for Wait. Smoothie on Suicide Watch. That's what CLG is right now. Dude, 100%. It's literally he is actually just like possessing the soul of Core JJ in these engages, and then somehow, some way, Finn will find a way to int it, or like they will collectively just make a decision that just makes you go like, do you play League of Legends like at an above diamond level? Like the fucking base race in their first game that they lost. I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, of course you're not going to win the base race, dude. They have Baron. What are you doing? And then the TSM game, don't even get me started. That was unlosable, and they found a way to lose it.
I mean, it was pretty funny. And honestly, I had to go back and watch. I just gotta say this: like the double lift streams, or him talking like during the games or whatever. His videos are so much more entertaining on Twitch than the actual LCS broadcast is.
What is his opinion on RJS? I'm just curious.
So I don't. That was the one game that I didn't watch because the Super Bowl started. So I was like, I don't care about TSM and CLG, so I'm just like.
I had them on both screens. I'm not gonna lie. I just checked in and looked at the highlights after.
I'll have to.
It was hilarious.
That video he posted on his YouTube was the next one that was like popping up for me to watch. So I'll probably watch that tonight and see what he says. But he's so and like I've loved C9 my entire life and I hated Double Lift my entire life, but his stream is so good and so informative about how like what's going on in the game. It's kind of like Tony Romo in the damn CBS booth, right?
I agree. It's like about bot lane. I think his opinions on top lane are complete trash, but I agree 100% about bot lane. Like he's really good at like talking about what
but it's like
you should
it's
take
like it's like calling plays as well, right? Like there was a time. What's the one? I watched the video of the TL C9 in lock-in finals, and was it either game 3 or game 4, whichever side we were on, red side and won. He was talking like, oh, okay, so like CL needs to go up here, do this, do that, and then like just reset with Baron buff, and like that same thing happened in a span of like 12 seconds, and I was like,
dude, I swear to God, he's the only like I guess you can call him an analyst, right? Maybe a little bit. Like he's the only personality that talks about dragon timings. Like he's the only fucking one. Dom talks about him a little bit, but like it's so much better for you not to use flash, even if you're gonna get a kill. If you're not gonna have flash or ult or whatever it is for Dragon, than it is to get that kill. Like,
Yep.
And that's like one of the biggest mistakes that some of these low elo teams make. Like, especially CLG, they did that so often in their 2 losses this weekend. It just actually tilted the fuck out of me. They would get kills for no reason, burning everything, and then they would have nothing left for the actual objective team fight.
Yeah. Well, the cool part too that he talks about is like the Dragon timing, right? Like he literally came out one time on I forget which video it was, but he was like, yeah, Soren and I would literally have arguments over whether or not taking Dragon or taking Rift Herald is a better choice.
Yep.
And I always told him Dragon is a better choice because the Mountain Soul or any soul like that comes in is just going to be way stronger than the 2 towers you're just going to get from Rift Herald, taking that and summoning it. So if you have the opportunity between the 2, like always go for Rift.
I think it depends on what you're playing towards. If you're playing towards a top lane carry like Camille, I think Rift can actually be really potent because then you can actually use Rift to set up a play and then it's like a win more play. Like if you ever get an early game team fight to go your way, which most top lane comps are about, then you can use the Rift to just get a shit ton more and then just completely blow the game open. So I agree. I think that Dragon is the safer bet, and it makes sense that an ADC wants to prioritize Dragon. But I agree that like his commentary is really good.
Yeah,
he definitely elaborates really well.
On top of that as well, talk about some barn burners we had on Saturday of games. Like, was it like 3 of the 5 went at least like 45 or 50 minutes?
Yeah, and then like C9 wins their game in like fucking 20 against Immortals.
Right.
Blabber's just piss low smurfing on everyone right now.
Oh, 100%, 100%. It was fantastic. But
it's T-Root. Wait, so why is it called G2 Cast when clearly it should be Fnatic Cast? If it's called Fnatic Cast, I'm blowing my goddamn brains out.
Oh my god!
I'm just kidding. Is that right to say on YouTube? You can blow your fucking brains out.
I mean, well, I guess we're gonna find out, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Put it out there like
wait,
that.
is your opinion that what is his opinion on Fnatic versus G2? I'm curious.
He's a Fnatic fan. He's the guy I do the LEC weekly breakdowns with.
He's Fnatic fan. So are you also BMing? Are you also BMing everyone on G2 on Twitter after having internet issues or what?
Dude. When I was Craig, because we're gonna talk about that later. Imagine just having a big El Clasico matchup like that, and you have internet issues, dude. I was watching. I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" Reckless left the game after dying. I was like, "Okay, he just died and just give up." That was the most funniest shit ever. If that was
that's some Dardock shit right there,
dude. I thought it was hilarious that like you could see literally the turn of the fucking game pre-internet issues and then post-internet issues. You see Wonder solo killing Bwipo, and then literally 2 minutes later, you see him just completely whiff a hook shot on a wall. Like I'm like, you missed a wall, bro. What? And then after the game, I was like, oh, okay, internet issues. That makes sense. Holy shit, dude. It was still a really entertaining game, though. I think MVP for that game goes to Selfmade.
Oof, but as we have to here talk about NA, Cloud9 defeats TSM in the classic C9 TSM rivalry.
Is it even classic anymore, dude? Or are we just beating up on like just our demoralized little brother that just is stumbling out the gate?
Hey, they knocked us out of Worlds. We knocked them out of Worlds one time. We're even, but then we got a revenge in the best of 3 and in this match. It feels good. It feels good to finally beat them again.
I agree.
But to be fair, like beating them this time is really weird because it doesn't feel like this is a good guys. I've said this before. I got flamed in the offseason for this. So why you hate TSM so much? I didn't. I just didn't think the roster was that good. I just thought the roster just stunk, honestly. It literally only has like 2 good players.
It is literally the bar for NA right now. Like TSM is the bar. If you can beat TSM, it means that your macro is decent enough to warrant being a top level team. If you can't beat TSM, you're a dog shit team right now. Like that's kind of how the tables are set up because they have very exploitable issues where their macro is not clean and they have major misplays happening, especially from the top and ADC position. And the rest of the team is somewhat consistent, but Sword Art isn't living up to his hype. Power of Evil is trying his best to hold down the fucking fort, but he is not gelling with Spica in a way that I thought he would. So it's just kind of like a team of individual talent that isn't meshing together, and two major liabilities with Lost and Hooney. That's what it is right now.
Why doesn't TSM just become a Power of Evil team? Is that not the reason why you get Power?
They tried in the preseason tournament. The issue is that in order to be a Power of Evil team, you need a support like Ignar. You need someone that's going to roam and set up the mid lane. And Sword Art isn't doing that right now. He doesn't have roam priority ever. And that has nothing to do with Lost. It has everything to do with Sword Art. Even when you're losing lane, there are situations in which you can get a roam timing off. Like, for example, if you're getting pushed into the lane, right? If you know that you're getting pushed into the lane and you go and ward the river where the jungler can dive you, right? If you know for a fact that jungler's not there, when the lane gets fully pushed in, as it's getting pushed in, you can back and roam top. Or you can ditch your lane and let the ADC catch the farm and still roam mid. He's catching the wave with his ADC while people like Vulcan get like 5 roams off towards mid, get insane vision control, and then obviously Power of Evil can't do anything but play under his tower. A lot of the times he's getting dove under tower.
The classic, hey, I push you in so I can make the move first.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Like, and even if you don't push them in, I'm saying you still have to match the roam at some point. Like, you have to mitigate the losses and say, okay, we're going to take an L in the bot lane, but we're not going to let that L translate to mid lane. Like, he's not playing that well individually from a macro standpoint. I do think that their late game looks better somehow than last year, and maybe that is Sword Art. Like, his decision making with regards to rotations towards late game seemed to be good, or maybe it's Hooney. I don't know who's responsible for shot calling, but there is hope that they could get better if they fix their early game. But I think the key players in fixing their early game are Spica and Sword Art, and there is something major wrong with that synergy. Mid jungle and support are on 3 different pages right now.
So, have you guys really questioned Bjergsen's drafting yet? I feel like no one's really questioning it. They're just like, okay, Bjergsen's their coach, so he's good at it. No one's been questioning shit. That's the funniest thing I've seen so far.
I think that you have a great point. Like, Corki last pick, Leandri's Corki is not the way to go, I don't think. But dude, there's so many other issues.
Bro, they dove a level 6 Alistar.
Yeah.
and they clearly could have dove a level 5 because they literally had Spica come down for it, and they waited to level 6.
Dude, okay, see, like, even that, though, I feel hesitant to criticize draft yet because there's just so many other issues. Dude,
we've talked, all of us have. We don't even really criticize draft. We more or less, I've seen shittier drafts executed in better regions.
I mean, there's definitely issues all around with the drafting and the style of play that TSM is trying to go for right now. I think they're, for some reason, the only team in NA that's saying, hey, I know that for the last 10 seasons of League, this aggressive early game is what translates to World's performances well, but we're going to still ignore that and go for the passive, snowball into late game thing because that's the only style we know how to play. I don't know why they're still not like forcing themselves to play the early game comps. But besides that, I think that even if that's their strategy, they need to improve so much more from a macro standpoint that drafting is just like maybe number 7 on the list of things to improve on.
Is Bjergs doing the draft or is it still Parth? They're both on stage, right? So they have Curry, Case, and Bjergsen.
I would actually no Anime PDX. I think you're probably right at that. Even last year, when Parth was coach, there was some other guy doing the draft. So it might be that they're still, the responsibilities are split up in terms of they'll talk about what's their priority before the game, and then the guy that's doing the draft is just going based on the priority list, and he's responsible for that aspect of it. I think the bigger issue is that before they get on stage, their priority list seems to be off, right? Like, if you're picking Corki as number 5, something went wrong with your ability to forecast what was going to happen in draft. I think that's like the biggest issue. So in that sense, Bjergsen has to take responsibility for it because he's the main coach. So if he's not like looking through all the possible issues or possible comps, and he has to, and they're picking Corki, it might be the other guy that was saying, "Hey, we need to pick Corki here," but it's still a overall head coach issue.
Also, for the C9 game, I've noticed now they're starting to pay a lot of more attention to Fudge's lane because they realized Perks had a lot of flack, but I was like, Perks is not getting hard gap like Fudge is. It's not like a big mid game gap. Perks was doing relatively okay to the point where he's not getting like fucking shoved down 30 CS every game, So I guess Blabber was like, okay, so Perks can hold it down on his own just fine. Even though he doesn't carry, he can hold it down just fine. Sven and Vulcan are best bot lane in the league almost essentially, so they're okay. All they have to do is pay attention to top. And when he pays attention to top, Fudge plays a lot more confident, as we saw. Because remember, in the Camille, what's the game he was on Jackson Camille matchup? He was fighting very well, and then when he saw Blabber there, he got more aggressive. They timed the game. Blabber stayed there, and they got the first blood. It happened both times again with Lillian too.
He was playing the Jax matchup, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on Jax.
Yeah, see, this is what I meant about remember when he was playing against the Jax as a Camille when they first picked the Camille into some days Jax, and I was like, this game is fucking doomed. Somehow they ended up winning it, but that's what I fucking mean. That makes sense. See, now you have to play. If you have a Jax in the game, you're always playing toward Jax. Like I think that you that's just a champion you have to play around. But I don't know if they're doing that to cover up Fudge's weaknesses, or I think they're more so doing that to embellish his only strength, which is playing carry top laners. I don't think he's shown the capability right now to play tanky top laners.
Licorice didn't either. Remember when Licorice
when he first when he first started, Licorice was getting camped for, and he became the solo carry of the team because everyone, every jungler, I think it was Svenskeren at the time, maybe it was Medios, I don't remember, but they continuously ganked top, and it eventually became Licorice and Jensen that would be the main carries of the team. And so I think they're trying to do the same thing with Fudge at the moment. Maybe it is a confidence builder. I hope it is. But I'm still very skeptical of his ability to play everything. I think that the style that they're going for is going to work for a limited amount of time, but it's very telegraphed. And eventually, if you play against someone like Santorin, he's going to be able to anticipate your jungle pathing and do a bunch of level 1 shit to prevent you from being able to play towards top. So right now it's still very telegraphed, but it seems to be working out for Fudge.
They factor in, wait a minute, if my mid and bot lane are fine, he only needs to go top. But that's so predictable, though. They know he's going to path toward top now. They know he's going to gank for top around level, 2 to 3? If he has... Because what path did he take on Talia to do that? I forgot what path he took, but he took a path...
Wasn't it Raptors,
red?
Wolves?
Raptors, Wolves, red, right?
Yeah. No. Raptors, Wolves, blue, Gromp, top, right?
Yeah, but the Lilia ended up stealing the blue, which is why he ended up... That was just a fucking travesty of a game, by the way.
Closer. Why did he flash in? He flashed in, and he was never going to win the trade.
Wait, was it closer? No. I'm talking about Immortals. When the Lilia stole...
My bad,
the blue buff.
Xerxes.
He stole the blue buff, and this guy just has to leave. He just has to leave, and it's completely fine. There's nothing that Talia can do to gank top without blue buff at that mana level, and they're just massively winning if he just leaves at that point. He stays, tries to fight Blabber, misses 2 Lilia Qs, gets hit by everything, flashes over the Talia W to take maximum damage to dodge the Talia E, and then just dies to his auto attacks. I'm like, that is just a disaster, dude. And I felt so bad for Revenge because there's nothing you can do with an Ignite Camille top after that. You're just gonna get dove over and over and over again.
At that point in the game, dude, oh my god, if that's in my game, I'm marking everything you do.
Yeah, dude. Brian Ryan says stop picking Ignite Camille against I'm assuming you're saying against C9. Dude, if your jungler is playing the way that Xerxes played, you just don't even lock in. You just play Lulu top and just say, hey, ADC, I'm your bot. Okay, there's nothing you can do against a top jungle duo if your jungler ends a double buff like that at level 3.
Also, what Blabber did really well in that one, because wasn't it Revenge? He tried to hook shot away. He timed his flash bear slap that where he could interrupt the Camille hook shot off the wall. Where they could perfectly get the first blood. Blabber's been playing really well, and I was really skeptical of Blabber going up against the new competition of junglers this year because
it was so good right now, dude. I think stats are fucking unreal compared to even last spring. Like he is, I believe, the only people that are out CSing him are ADCs and like 3 ADCs and 1 mid laner or something like that. Something absolutely ridiculous. Like he's out CSing everyone in the league and he's out ganking everyone in the league. It's fucking nuts.
Ziak says, do you think Perks will play more of a utility shot caller role for C9 if Fudge can't really play weak side?
You want me to take that?
Yeah, sure.
So I think that right now he's playing the role that C9 needs him to play, which is exactly what you're saying. Because Blabber's smurfing and Pisslow. Like, they don't need to do anything when Blabber can play the champions he's playing. I'm actually going to share my screen. Can I
yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Let's see. Hopefully this works. This is my first time doing it, so bear with me.
JJ's like, what is this guy's doing?
Does this work?
This nerd talk.
Does this work?
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
So this is the LEC. We can do this for LCS too. These are the most banned picks. Okay. Just look at the first fucking 3 picks: Talia, Olaf, Pantheon. This is not even including Udyr, right? These are the most broken champions. We can go to LCS. It's the same fucking thing. These are the most broken champions in the game. The 4th most broken is TF. Dude, this is blabber, 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 if I've ever seen it. And so is Udyr. This is literally his fucking meta. If you don't play around blabber in this meta, what meta are you going to play around blabber, dude? It's just built for him to succeed right now. So, yeah, Perks needs to play the utility style right now. I fully expect him to be able to play the carry style eventually. I think it's just like the meta right now is...
I think he's carrying in a different way than most people are used to. He's not really carrying in the way that like Jensen, Jizuke are right now. Like they're just solo killing you. He's carrying in a way that's like he's not losing and he effectively moves around the map with his team that gets advantage too, which I like actually personally. It's nice to have a different, because like you don't. What the problem is, what happened last year with Niski's play styles, that everyone thought that, oh yeah, you have to play through your jungler. No, you can play different style of mid lane and win.
Exactly, and that's why you pay this man $12 million. By the way, he can literally pay any style, any champion. Like he is the guy that you will put any champion on and be like, okay, I'm confident that he is going to do well on it. Like maybe it's not like the style we want to see because Perks is a Giga massive carry, but dude, it's such a good feeling to have going into any best of 5 draft, knowing that this guy, if draft goes bad, he can fill in the draft and make it good by playing literally anything he wants to play.
How does Blabber stack compare to international junglers like Canyon, Kanavi, and Yankos? I.e., how will he do? Well, Kanavi sucks right now, so mark that guy out, dude. Kanavi stinks right now. Oh my god, he sucks.
I can't speak on Kanavi, unfortunately, but or Canyon, but I know for a fact that right now the meta is so in favor of what Blabber wants to do that it seems like he could play against anyone. I can only speculate. Like it's hard to say that when he hasn't been able to perform against an international competition in over a year. Yeah. But like I would assume that he would do completely fine. Like the way that he's getting these leads, he's getting them against even in the best of 5 against TL. He was out jungling Santorin every single game except for the game where he had to babysit Fudge.
He was going even with Closer in that best of 5 they had. He was even with Closer the whole time.
I don't think it was even. I think he was way better than Closer.
What game besides game 4? Was it game 4? Game 3?
No, it was game 5 and game 3.
Game 5 was a gap. Oh yeah, game 5 he completely just
he had to babysit. He had to babysit the Irelia, so he couldn't play the game. And neither.
No. I'm saying though, what other game besides that
game 3? I believe.
Yeah, because he was baby. No. I'm just saying he would have had to babysit the entire time. So I think
it was both the Irelia games, if I remember. I don't remember which other game he played.
Are you talking about the Thief series or the TL series?
The TL series.
If you're just to comment on like the international jungler side of things, or whatever, it's gonna like, I think Blabber can stack up against like a lot of them right now and everything like that, but that's not really the issue. Obviously, the issue is, am I going to see Cannon Minion Fudge or am I going to see an actual champion Fudge?
Yeah, I think you're right. That's
100% like what it is right now, because most of those games, like he's just and even Tupple have said in like one of his videos, he's like, a Cannon Minion would be more effective than Fudge right now because he would actually at least push a lane. Like until Fudge gets his feet under him. And by the way, I think this is like the perfect year for somebody like Fudge to break into the LCS because of the extent of the time frame that this like the LCS season actually is he's got forever to actually get his feet underneath him. And
preseason tournament was so good for him too. He played.
Dude,
they played 17 games. Yeah.
They played essentially a whole split. They played essentially a third. They all played a third split by the time this year was fucking over.
Not only did he get a full split of games before the LCS even started, he also now gets 3 games a week instead of only 2, like it was for the most part the last couple of years. And then on top of that, he's also playing with arguably a top 5 player in the world in Perks, who not only is like going to be able to help him grow like and mature, I'd say a little bit quicker, but also when he's, probably losing those games, he's just like, keep your mind calm, keep your head, in it. Like we're still going to be able to turn something around here, just in that aspect.
Or when it comes to the off season, or maybe when the 2021 World Championship is over, he's like, Jack, you know what? I want a new top laner. Get me someday. Jack's like, okay.
It's like Perk said in his intro video. That. He's like, if I've got a Smurf top too, because Fudge can't do it, I'll do it. So,
can you imagine
talking shit?
Top lane.
Because that's the discussion we had on the other show that I have, the pre-recorded one. I'm like, hey guys, let's be honest here. Fudge could improve. That's possible. Let's be honest here. If Perks wants a new top laner moving into the next year's coming up, it's
not gonna happen.
He can do whatever the hell he wants to.
Dude, if at this point when you spend this much on Perks again, if Fudge doesn't improve quickly, he's out of there before Worlds rolls around. I promise you that. There's no way that Jack is going all in like this and flopping to a level where they don't make Worlds.
I will say
shot.
I will say I thought there were a couple of good glimpses from Fudge this weekend. Yeah, sure. Blabber's going up topside, right away and stuff like that. But you can just do that as a jungler, whatever. Nothing wrong with that. But I thought he held some advantages a little bit better this weekend in some of the games than he had throughout the entire lock-in tournament, which was kind of nice to see. Like the Jax game against TSM. Was that where he predict flash stunned under tier 2 top or some shit like that? Was that game or was that the Immortals game? I can't remember.
I don't remember. I don't recall which play you're talking about. What was he playing?
He was playing Jax, and he was counter striking, and as he hit A, the opponent flashed towards tier 2 topside tower, and he as the Q was landing, or the jump strike was landing, he flashed at the same time to stun the opponent underneath the tower. I have to go back and look, but
I don't remember, but I believe it. Dude, I saw this in Academy all the time. This guy was mechanically better than everyone in Academy, and that's not saying much, maybe. But he was genuinely really good mechanically. The issue that I was seeing throughout the entire preseason tournament is that he was not able to recognize his moments to go in team fights, and he was very hesitant and very nervous. Even in that game 5 against TL, that's a nervous mistake. You can't 1v1. Irelia versus Gangplank level 1.
Also, if you're trying to get ganks, why are you taking random Gangplank cues if Blabber and Perks are coming to go to help you?
No, you can't do that. I think that even he would admit that he literally hard-ended the game 5 just by himself. I think that I'm fine with him being the starter for however long it needs to be for Jack to figure out this is a solvable issue or not solvable issue.
Yep.
If he can figure out how to control his nerves on stage, he is going to be a great top laner. His mechanics are not the issue. It is just his mental. So if he can figure it out, I am absolutely fine with Fudge moving forward. The issue I'm having is I don't see it over a course of 20 games now, right? He's still having finicky issues, and I don't know if this is a easily fixable thing. Hopefully it is.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, on that comment that there it says if Sunday was on C9, I think C9 would be over TL. Dude, if Sunday was on Cloud9, they would be instant semifinal world.
This man's crazy. This man's
hard
crazy, guys.
Be 100% with you. That would it wouldn't even be a question.
Dude,
and second off, we would destroy Team Liquid every single time we play them.
Maybe Alfari. I don't know. I mean, obviously Sunday is better. Obviously Sunday is extremely strong. I still have
crazy.
I still have something to say about all English speaking teams and being your ceiling gets lowered whenever you have communication gaps. But I agree that someday is definitely an exception to the fucking rule. Like if
you're gonna literally wanted someday, Jack, hey man, come on.
No, dude, 100 Thieves is not getting rid of someday.
Yeah, there's no way Poppy Smithy does that.
That is their franchise player. That is the franchise player for them. Maybe Closer will become the franchise player over time, but right now, dude, they literally said we're shipping the rest of this fucking team to Africa and importing all of Golden Guardians, but we're keeping someday.
Yeah,
like
right?
100%.
But I think you're right. I think with the Fudge, back to the Fudge comment really quick, I think that's the big key is like just to figure out what happens, I guess, moving forward. And that's the nice part about just the extent of the season that we're playing in now is that we'll actually have an opportunity to because if you think about it, in reality, Jack doesn't really need to start worrying about something with Fudge until May.
Yeah,
if something is not like until MSI, right? Like if we don't go to MSI, that would be, if C9 doesn't go to MSI, I say I, but C9, but if they don't go to MSI, then you could look at something and try to point fingers one way or another. I saw some improvement this weekend to possibly warrant hey, okay, maybe this guy's got it, but we have literally, probably 4.5 months to worry about whether or not Fudge is going to stick around as a C9's top laner or not.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping that it works out because the options to replace him are very, very low in between right now. So I'm praying to God that it works out because the rest of this team looks like absolute S tier material right now. And like Vulcan and Blabber are self-explanatory. They're in a class. Blabber especially is in a class of its own right now. And, And if Core JJ didn't exist, Vulcan would be in a class of his own as well. Like Sven, I think, is a consistent top tier performer. I don't expect him to int any of the games, and maybe he won't solo carry, but he is going to consistently DPS in team fights. He's going to consistently get ahead in or even in lane. And if anyone expects Perks to maintain this level and never improve over time, you're delusional. You don't understand League of Legends. Like Perks is just going to get better and better and better. And once they figure out like how to work together as a team at a higher level, like Perks is going to smurf on this league at some point. It's gonna happen. Like we're gonna see RNG Perks.
Even if he doesn't smurf, what I always liked about Perks was that he was always very clutch. Because like what the problem with the past C9 mid laners like Jensen, High, Niski was that they were never really clutch though. Like at big moments you expected them to just crumble.
Dude, he has played 8 elimination games already, and he's 7-1. And the one game he lost is because Perks decided to 1v1 Irelia versus Gangplank top. Like he is unbelievably clutch already, and he's demonstrating it. He's not.
Also, Zen has impressed me so much. C9 needs to lock up Zen in the off season and don't let him go anywhere else. This guy is the best ADC in the league. Like he's playing
he's not going to go anywhere with Perks on the team. And on the coaching staff, there's no way that happens. He will be. They'll figure something out. Like they got plenty of time, and even if there was a contract dispute or something like that, Jack will get it figured out for them.
I'm way more worried about Blabber, dude. I'm way more worried about Blabber. Like every single star on C9 eventually wants to be like, I want to try something else and see if I can also succeed there, type of thing. You know, like Jensen, Impact. Like I'm way more worried about Blabber because he knows he's the fucking shit. Like he knows he could go in any team and just smurf on anyone. So like, I hope that he decides to stay. I don't.
C9 just randomly buys Santorin.
Oh god, dude! If we lose Blabber, I'm going to be so sad. This kid is just. I might be the biggest Blabber stan on the planet right now.
Jack will literally offer them. You want Blabber? I'll give you millions. That's not even hundreds of thousands. I want millions of dollars for him.
I don't. There's 12 million back on Perks right there.
Oh my god!
At that point, I guess it's worth, but fuck, it does not feel good. You cannot replace Blabber, and this team gets better with any other jungler. Like you can literally choose any jungler in the world and plug him in for Blabber right now, and I will say that it's a downgrade for C9. That's how well he's playing right now.
But we also had so after the C9 versus TSM game, we also had the ending of the LCS 2021 Spring Split Week 1, which was 3 days of gameplay, which I loved. I like the extra day of games. I think it's amazing. More league is always better. You also had CLG starting 0-3. CLG having, I don't know what issues we can contemplate here.
Smoothie and Suicide Watch, SOS.
Fact.
And
Feel so bad for the guy.
JJ's comfortably eating like Lay's chips as he's like, "Yep, CLG."
Gushers actually good.
Gushers. Fruit Gushers.
Wait, can we just like revisit the whole import angle? By the way, that was talked about at some point this week. Like,
yeah, I was going to do a solo video on that too, because like, okay,
I'm
not gonna say too much about it. I have like 3 sentences. Like, I don't understand why it's become such a controversial issue. Like, we want top tier imports. We don't want mid tier to low tier imports. That's literally what NA fans want. Like, if you get a perks, no one is upset that you're getting a perks to replace any type of NA talent. If you're getting a Finn or a Ruin, we have an issue with that, because we believe that you can find comparable talent in the NA pool. And even if you can't, fucking try. Like, you're not gonna get a Finn or Ruin and win worlds with it, or do well, or get to worlds with it. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know why it's still such a like Reddit has such a hive mind. The comments just make me lose my mind. Like, they take these super devil's advocate stances, like, they've just given up caring. All these owners just want to see NA fail. Like, NA should be every single player should always be from NA. Like they have such delusional takes. Like,
yeah, that I
one.
Bring it up though. I was gonna bring it up because I have a long take. So are you almost done?
I want to just chime in here.
Last sentence. Last sentence.
Go ahead.
No one in their right mind is saying that we need to completely get rid of all the import rules and import the entire LEC or LPL into NA. No one is saying that, man. Like, we are saying we want to import top tier talent, and if we can get 5 top tier imports, there's nothing wrong with that. The league would get better. And CoreJJ is an example of why. Like, anyways, that's it.
Like, some of the best players in the league are imports, though. People just fail to understand that. Quote unquote FBI is now considered an ADC star in the league. He at one point was an import, and then with the rule change,
do you really think? Yeah, and do you really think that Vulcan and fucking Smoothie would be able to play Rel this well if CoreJJ wasn't in the league? Like, that is literally CoreJJ's influence right now. They're watching his tapes and seeing how he engages. Like, the entire Smoothie angle against
one of the best players of all time from the LCS is an import in Bjergsen.
Yeah, Jensen, number 2. Like,
Bjergsen, Jensen. You also have who is it? Other long time ago players people love, like Lustboy. People love him. He was popular back in the day. You also had Impact. Impact is he still considered an import?
No,
I don't know.
But what was an import had a lot of success.
Yeah.
So my thing here, like, people are probably going to hate me after I say this. I personally don't care if all the players here are North American. I truly could care less, because this is my thing. I think a lot of people only care about that for this like weird patriotic reason. But in terms of
I swear to God, it's not even that. It's like, we would rather see you try to grow homegrown talent than to import someone like Finn. Like, you see what he's doing on CLG. You see the ceiling. Like, of course, we're going to criticize that decision because we think that anyone else in his place could do the same thing. Like, even if they can't do the same thing, you can't use an import slot and it'd be a complete bust, like Ryoma or Ica. I think that's a pretty fair thing to say. We want you to save your money to import top name talent, and if you are trying to import mid-tier talent, we have an issue with that. Like, that's what the fans are saying. And
my thing was like, how would I phrase this? So, if we had a whole team full of imports and they won MSI and they won Worlds, right? Would people really have the same mentality? I feel like people wouldn't care if we were winning.
And the only teams that ever win are the ones with imports, guys. Like, TL last year won because Jensen and CoreJJ were smurfing at Worlds. Like, the only reason that they got one game away was because of Jensen and CoreJJ.
It was because of Broxa, because that guy didn't exist on the map half the time.
Exactly, and that's exactly another point to my case. Like, why are you importing Broxa? You know what I mean? Like, we knew that he was not a top tier talent. So I think that it's very simple. Like, we want top tier imports. We don't want mid-tier imports.
Also, another angle no one brings up, they're like, well, the teams with the top owners are asking for the import rule to be lifted. People would have to really read between the lines. The top owners, which would include Reginald, Jack, and Steve, and Nate Shot's getting up there. 100 Thieves is now starting to get up there. Mm-hmm. So the people that have consistently won and been in the finals are asking to lift the import rule to win for us more. Do people not actually think in their, I swear people on Reddit don't use their brains. The people that have had success are trying to help us have more success.
And do you really think that C9 is going to be the team that imports Finn? No. Like they're like, and if they did that, they should rightfully be criticized, right? Like, and fans would eat them up. And I don't understand why we continuously target those teams over teams like CLG, which are making completely terrible roster moves year after year, wasting a franchise slot in NA and not doing anything with it. Like that's like, it just pisses me off. Like,
but people should be focused on teams like that. If the top owners like Jack, Steve, Reginald, and Nathan are asking for import rule restrictions,
but they create my issue is that like the lower tier teams create problems that prevent progress. Like,
but people know they won't succeed though. Like most people know Dignitas is probably not making worlds until we all have kids, which is
yes,
years
but then
from now.
Yes, exactly. But then when people like Jack say that we should get rid of imports, everyone just points to CLG and says, "Oh, look, like you really want to have a full LPL team imported because that's what CLG will do." Like, and I believe them. Like that is actually what CLG would do if import rules were lifted.
I just think that people would change their tune if NA was winning. If NA was winning, I don't think people would care as much though, because people's mentality shift when you're winning though. Generally, all the time. Like C9 right now is doing really well with Perks, Zen. Those are imports. And people don't understand this. Chinese teams have won with 2 Korean players. Most people have forgotten this. Gimgoon was an import on FPS when they won in 2019. Mm-hmm. Relatively not good import, but it's like you can win with imports. The issue here is like if your homegrown talent is good, it matches your imports capabilities. But to have a full team of imports, dude, I'm being honest, I really wouldn't care, honestly.
Let me just chime in real quick. So
no.
Just on that point.
Say nothing. Get out.
On that point,
no, I think it's really like that.
I think it's not the more I think about it is it's not like what you're saying. Like we don't want to see like imports like Finn. So in the end all be all, I just want the imports that are coming in to be worth the money that the organizations are actually going to pay to have them brought in.
They need to take the organization to a new level. Right?
Thank you. Yeah. You don't pay $12 million for Perks to be a fucking A-tier team.
Yeah, like if they don't make worlds, they deserve to be ridiculed. Like C9 deserves to be fucking ridiculed for that. Like, and that's exactly what the type of imports you want to bring in. They should lift up the team as well as the rest of the league. Like a great example for roster building is Golden Guardians. Like, look at what they did this offseason. Okay, they had to at the last second abandon a fully functional roster that they built from scratch. Okay, they had to get rid of Demonte, Closer, FBI, and Huhi. Some of the best players in the fucking league. And they got, for it, a jungler that looks like he's doing pretty well, and a rest of a team that seems to be faltering, but now they know they tested on 5 brand new players, and they have hit on one of them. Like, they're going to keep Iconic. Like, he's doing really well, right? Yeah. So that's what you want to do with the bottom tier teams. That's what you want to see, because now you know, okay, this is our building block. Now we have a resident jungler, or actually is Iconic an import? I actually don't know. I have no idea if Iconic is an import or not. But my point is, once you have your core 3 or 4, then you can look for that next level guy, you know, to take you over the hump, to actually help you win the LCS. But it's players like Iconic, players like Demonte and Closer and FBI, like once you have that core, other players, other top pedigree players want to come play for you. Like there's a reason why Impact joined EG, right?
Yeah.
He probably had an offer that was much more money from a different team, but he joined EG because it's the best chance he has to win compared to the other teams. So that's just my point. Like, build from a core out.
And, 100%. And like I said, I've got to take off here in just a second, but if the import isn't worth the money that you're spending on them and they don't actually make you a better team, like there's just no point in doing it. And just like there, you can find a cheaper homegrown talent than, you know, spending X millions of dollars to bring in some mid-tier European player, some mid-tier Chinese player, you know, just because their region always wins or whatever. But
what's so crazy is that one of NA's most iconic moments came from a team almost full of imports with like Jensen, Impact, Core JJ, when they took out IG at that MSI 2019 semifinals, that came from imports. That wasn't like Smithy carrying shit.
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
You know, and people always said, well, what about the NA players? Won't they not get a chance? Well, if the NA player is not good enough to get the shot at the league, they shouldn't. I'm being honest. So, and someone told me I was stupid. I was like, no, your mom probably hates you because you're dumb. If you're not good enough to be on this
talk to, dude.
Bro,
like,
I'm aggressive.
People, I swear to God.
I'm aggressive with people on Reddit and Twitter. They hate me.
Reddit.
Sometimes.
You fucking talk on Reddit. That is your biggest mistake, dude.
And I talk on Twitter sometimes too, because this guy, I literally said it doesn't really matter about the import rule per se. It's more or less so when it comes to if the NA player is not good enough to be on the stage, which they obviously do tryouts, why should they get a shot? There's no answer. Like, well, he's NA, so he should automatically get it. No, that's stupid. You can't just be randomly biased towards your region.
Yeah.
Like,
I think with the longer season too, you'll start seeing a lot more, especially with these bottom tier teams. You'll start seeing a lot more of players getting a shot to kind of see what they've got, and then not just like a last weekend of the split kind of thing. Like they'll actually get legitimate weeks at a time to actually show that they are worth the time, the talent, and everything like that. But I've got to take off, but thank you so much for having me. I just want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Light Pulse, who just signed on Boise State's league team for a scholarship. So
there you go.
He's a support main, but pumped for him, and can't wait to see him on the
What's his elo? Is he Masters or is he?
He is Masters right now, yes.
Tell me, elo, can he elo boost me?
I mean, he tries to elo boost me, and it doesn't get him very far. So
I'm hard stuck D4 right now, and I can't take my Mundo any further. So if he wants to duo with a Mundo jungler, one trick.
Yeah, man, I hit him up. He's the man. But yeah, super pumped for him. He is the 9th ranked college league player of 2021. So
that's sick, dude.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
super pumped for him. But anyways, thank you so much for having me. I gotta run. So
yeah.
Oh man, nice having you, man.
Thanks, guys.
Also, another point that people didn't even bring up is like just because the import rule is lifted doesn't really potentially mean a league will just be full of imports.
Yeah, no, it won't. I mean, there's obviously still studs like Blabber and Vulcan that are going to stay in the league. Tactical is not leaving. Like, I agree that it will be harder for us to find the next Tactical, to find the next Blabber because imports are coming in. But I mean, that's more so an issue with talent acquisition, and that's not really going to.
That's not really the import rules' fault. That's more of us failing to build up talent, though.
Yeah, so like that's going to be the case even if the talent rule didn't exist. We're just going to find mediocre talent like Finn. The people that don't know how to search for talent are still not going to be able to find talent. They're just going to find mediocre talent from other regions rather than mediocre talent from our region. Like that, nothing like that will change. Players like Tactical will only show up on great organizations like TSM, 100 Thieves. Like the organizations that know what they're doing and know what they're looking for and know how to build a winning culture. Like that's always going to be the case. So I don't think that the import rule will.
It doesn't surprise me that the team's owners who've been winning consistently in NA
find the talent.
Yeah,
and they're also the ones that find the talent. Like C9 is the obvious example. They literally have cultivated half this fucking league with their talent. Like TL is just as good, but they want to go for the buy it all approach. They found Tactical. TSM has been struggling, but you still have to give them credit for being able to discover talent like Johnson, like Tactical, like they're not good at retaining their talent, but they can find the talent. You know what I mean?
They're good at suppressing it too.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's what I mean. Like if you give these orgs the freedom to operate
without restrictions,
I mean, they're gonna do better. They're gonna bring the league up.
Also, a good point people didn't bring up was when Oceania closed down, people brought over some of the Oceanic talent. They didn't bring over all of it, like trash, like fucking Swiper and shit. You don't bring over like all of them. They brought over a few Oceanic players. Yeah. That's my point. Is a lot of people just are thinking it from such a negative angle. Like factor in when we just had the Oceanic League closed down. Did all the Oceanic players over there just come over here? No.
Yeah, so, wait, Ryan. I think you said Iconic is an NA player. Is he? I think he's Oceanic, right? I'm pretty sure
he's from Collegiate with Niles, right?
Oh, he's Collegiate. I thought he was Oceanic.
It sounds like an Oceanic name. We got a mystery on our hands. I'm just kidding.
I figured that he would be an Oceanic player, but because I've literally never seen him on the NA ladder, but I also could be completely wrong. Anyways,
you're a human. Why are you making mistakes?
Yeah. So I think that you're right. Like this definitely helped. Players like Fudge and Iconic are going to get a chance to show themselves and do
also
well.
Without the import rule restricted, now that they don't count as NA players, that adds more to their value though. And
exactly.
Like, people have to factor this in. Just because the import rule is lifted doesn't mean that you won't eventually get bad imports. Like
there's nothing saying that Fudge could even be playing in LCS this season if it wasn't for that. You know what I mean? Like it's made the league better. It's made the league more enjoyable. Like to watch
people really think they'll fucking import players like a Rome. No, that will not. I mean, there might be a team that'll do that, but they're gonna get ridiculed for doing it. Yeah.
I mean,
Hi, Rebecca.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But yeah, with CLG starting 0-3, and like you saw Wild Turtle's face when they were losing. He was like, how did we throw this game to TSM? They were winning. They were legitimately winning at a certain point, and they were like, you know what? Fuck it.
They were winning 2 out of the 3 games they played this weekend. They should have won the second one too. I forgot who they play against, but they were super
IMT or something like that. They play against one like Dig. They play against Dig, TSM, and I forgot the other team they played, but they didn't look so terrible to the point where it's like, yeah, this team is just trash. It's so crazy how Griffin.
Oh, no, they played 100 Thieves, dude. They played 100 Thieves the second game, and they should have beaten the 100 Thieves. They actually should have won.
Yeah, 100 Thieves and Team Liquid looked shaky in some of their games, actually. What do you think of the new patch? Will it change much? Well, most people are asking for. Well, most people are asking for jungle and support nerfs.
Jesus fuck, dude. Kill me now, dude. Support nerfs, yes. Jungle nerfs, really? Really? Haven't you gutted us enough? Just nerf Udyr. God damn it.
Wasn't jungle just literally nerfed last spring? To the death?
Dude, solo laners already are like 2 levels above ganking junglers. Power farming junglers can barely keep up the level, and they're just power farming until they get hit like level 9. What more do you want? Do you just want us to become ward bots again? Fuck, dude.
Literally last spring, playing jungle was, I think that's the worst time I've ever played jungle in my life. Camps did nothing. You were basically just worthless.
Yeah, dude, I missed the fucking jungle meta of summer last year. It was so fun. You just nerfed us to the ground.
What did you think about Team Liquid this past weekend?
Dude, I thought that Team Liquid started off the gate a little slower for some reason. Alfari didn't look great on Kennen. I will say that.
Yeah, solo kill by revenge, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't look great. But at the same point, dude, it's so hard to root against this team because every other game they played, they're just winning every lane. There isn't even a single lane that they're even in CS. Like Santorin has 3 lanes to gank, and he's just playing power farming junglers, getting ahead and ganking any lane he wants. Like it's so hard to find a flaw within this team. Besides, like maybe a mechanical issue that happens once in a blue moon. Like they're the most fundamentally sound team right now. I think that C9 still has a higher ceiling if everything clicks, but on a consistent basis, you can't count on any team getting ahead of Jensen and Core JJ and Alfari. Like those 3,
Cloud9 definitely have the best bot lanes. They're just head and shoulders above.
It's not even the bot lane for TL. Laning is just there are 3 lane kingdoms in TL. There are 3 insanely good laners, and they can play both the strong side and weak side, all 3 of them. So it's crazy. They can do anything they want. The only question mark for me is how does Santorin fit into the rest of the team? That's it. And he seems like he's doing fine already. So
for 100 Thieves, they looked like, what is this team? They looked like they didn't really know what to do, but they still won all their games. Which goes to show you that if you have a good enough roster, it doesn't matter if you're losing your games. If you have a good enough roster, you'll win your games. It doesn't matter.
They should be 2-1. They should not have won against CLG. That is not a game that like you feel happy about. Like
CLG lost that game. 100 Thieves didn't win that game.
Yeah, no. And also they look kind of shaky in that first game they played too. I think that DeMonte needs to clean things up a little bit. I think he's it's fine to be the roaming mid laner. But when you are the roaming mid laner and also flubbing every other engage that you throw at a team, that's an issue. Like he needs to tighten up a little bit. But great start for 100 Thieves so far. I'm glad that they're in the picture this year compared to last year. They're a fun org. I love how Nate Shot tweets after every game. It's fun.
Is Perk still living up to his reputation?
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
If you're okay with Perks getting better as the season goes on, he is living up to his reputation. If you are okay with the fact that Perks has played 8 elimination games and he's 7-1, with the one loss being on a game that was completely out of his control because Fudge did level 1 Irelia versus Gangplank. Like, all these things point to he's doing okay. But the issue is they don't need him to be Perks because Blabber is being Blabber right now. That's like the biggest thing. Like, they don't need him to be that guy. And I feel as though eventually he's going to be that guy at some point in this season. So I think that he's doing fine. I think that his introduction to the league has been underwhelming. He's not solo killing every single player like a lot of people expected him to, but he's playing above. He's the second best mid laner in NA right now, besides Jensen. That's what I would say.
The last other team we should probably touch on is everyone's fan favorite FlyQuest, Jose Diodo. Like, I really don't think he's amazing. He's like an okay jungler. He is very okay. Mm-hmm. He's nothing special.
I like that he's playing Hecarim. I will say that. It's a very non-NA pick because it's a very solo queue pick and it's very reliant on like, if you missed your fucking ult, if you missed that one engage, you're done. Like, it's over. And I like that. They're going in a very all-in team fight style and they're playing around that. And Jose Diodo is playing well towards
Licorice, that, which is good because no offense to like what you just touched on, when other C9 players go to different orgs, I'm just being honest here, man. Palafox and Diamond look like crap.
Yeah, I completely agree. Especially on Diamond. Palafox is somewhat understandable, I will say. Like,
he's not getting gapped, but he's super underwhelming.
He's losing CS, but he's making up for it in team fights. His team fights are still really good, but he is definitely getting gapped in lane. Diamond is just getting gapped everywhere right now. I don't know what's going on with him. He is missing his Janna shields and hitting turrets with them instead of shielding his AD carry. He is
missing rail engages that go straight. I don't know how that's possible.
He's not playing very well right now. But I think that Jose Diodo has upside. I need to see more before I can say that he's a good or bad player.
I really think if FlyQuest need a playstyle, just play through Licorice because he's not been bad though. Like, he's not been a player that's like, oh, he's fucking terrible. Get him off. He's been fine.
It's kind of hard. It is kind of hard to play through him. They kind of have to play through Jose Diodo a little bit right now. I think that the meta, if he wants to play like things like Hecarim, you gotta get the Hecarim ahead. You can't pick Hecarim and then play around a lane like Gragas, like, because they are picking like team fight carries top as well. Like, if Licorice is playing Camille, then absolutely still play through Licorice, but Jose Diodo can be that secondary carry. So we'll see.
There will be that one guy who will ask, why do we talk about Dignitas? Because we don't want to blow our brains out. That's the reason why.
Yeah, there's nothing exciting about that.
Time to the LEC. So the LEC 2021 Spring Split Week 3 happened. The big match was Fnatic versus G2. Internet issues. Fnatic finally took down G2 in a meaningless BO1 in spring. So
yeah, I don't really know what there's to say about it. If anyone actually thinks that G2 was doing poorly before the internet issues in that game, you didn't watch the game. Be honest about it, okay? Like, G2 was dumbstering Fnatic, and then internet issues happened, and Wonder can't hookshot a wall. Like, come on, man. Like, go next. That Alistar engaged bot lane. Come on. Like,
have you
really think that
with the G2? Have you noticed this with the new G2 lineup is that when they get behind, they don't really try to play from it correctly through macro. They try to play through it just by team fighting. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I can't take that Fnatic game into account at all. Like, the amount of lag that they must have been seeing for Mickey to miss a WQ on Alistar, like, what? No, there's no way that is anything but lag.
Remember he had the 2v1 outplay in the top lane with the volleyball? My god, I almost wanted to cry.
Dude, no, but did you look at that gank? It was just completely flubbed. They missed, like, they were completely desynchronized. They chained their CC on top of each other. Like, there's no way that was not internet issues. There's no way. That was like a plat level dive that, of course, it's going to go poorly unless you play it perfectly. So I don't know. I discounting that game, I still think that G2 is above everyone else in the league. And I think that the next tier is Rogue and Schalke. Fnatic is not even in that second tier, and then the next tier after that is Madlands and Fnatic, and they're both trying to figure out their identity. I was talking to I think everyone joined a little late, but I think that there are two classes of teams right now: teams that have a clear identity, and teams that don't. The two teams that don't have a clear identity are Rogue and Schalke. Schalke want to play through Broken Blade through top. They are drafting in a way that lets them snowball the early game through top lane, and then they're taking that pressure and trying to snowball the rest of the map. Rogue have two star carries, ADC and mid, and they're trying to play and draft in a way that they ban all the early game junglers, draft a power form jungler, and then get to that mid to late game so that Larson and Hansama can carry them. And then there is G2 that can literally do everything because they have 3 insane laners. And then there are the teams that don't have an identity, like Fnatic and Mad Lions, who still seem to be drafting a new thing every single week. That's kind of where the LEC stands. And then there's the rest of the teams that no one cares about.
Because with Fnatic, there was the game they played against Astralis. They were just... It's like literally unhooking your kitchen sink and literally throwing it at your door, hoping it would break. That's what they were doing with those dives. Dives, oh my god.
They're so uncoordinated right now. Like their drafts are 1 week they'll be playing for heavy power farm jungler, the next week they'll be playing for heavy early game jungler, and they will gank completely different lanes every single time. Like they're not playing through one person, they're not playing through a specific strategy. Hylissang is not roaming to enable Niski. It's like everyone's just kind of playing their own thing. It makes no sense. And then
1 week, Selfmade is like, okay, I'll just shot call. I'll just do all the carrying.
Yeah, like even in the G2 game, dude, Selfmade was playing so well, pathing really well. But like, if you notice, the ganks that he got off, they were just mechanical misplays by G2. So I still don't know how Fnatic reliably get ahead. Besides Selfmade,
he played really well in the Evelyn. He plays really well in that Evelyn game and Olaf game he had previously before the G2 game.
But their win con is Selfmade getting Giga massively ahead or Bwipo coin flipping top lane. Like that's not a very reliable way of getting into
Let's see. Upset was ahead of Reckless pre-pause by 40 CS at 12 minutes in. Well, to be fair, we did talk about Upset being better than Reckless mechanically, so I expect that though. Those are things that I expect out of him. The issue here is that I expected Hylissang and Upset to have a better bot lane synergy than Reckless and Hylissang did. I expected Niski to play around Selfmade like he did with Blabber. But
that's the thing, right? You know? Like, why can't they do that right now? Like, this is the meta where you enable the jungler. Like, that's what's so surprising. I completely agree that it's spring and you can test a bunch of shit. That should be the first style that Fnatic is trying to perfect. Like, mid-jungle 2v2 being the focus of the team. Like, why else would you get Niski if you're not going to focus on the mid jungle? Like,
and Niski's been playing pretty. To me, he's gotten better every single week with the better caliber of competition he's had.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I just really double kill he's had, the Victor game he's had, the Azir game he's had was really good. He's been playing better every single week. Which is good because people said the Nemesis cock was all the way down these people's throats.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they're taking that pressure to top lane rather than like play.
I think Whipple's fine on his own. Like if you leave Whipple alone, he'll be more or less so fine. You don't have to play through him.
And if you're gonna play through top lane, draft Camille or draft an actual carry that can carry the game. It makes no sense why you're playing towards the Volibear, man.
Draft Zillion top again.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Why? Maybe I'm wrong, dude. Maybe they know something I don't know, which is very possible because I'm a diamond level player. So they like. I just don't get it. I see the draft and I don't understand it because their strategy seems to be not reliable. It's not like a repeatable thing that works. It'll work if the enemy makes a mistake, and that's not I don't like teams that do that.
But you can't use the play style of I played through Someday consistently because like how consistent is that going to be though? What happens if there's games where he gets out jungled, then they're just going to automatically lose.
Exactly. Like yeah, it just you need a consistent style, and then you need to be able to plug and play different picks to fit that style. I feel like that's like the best proven way to succeed. If you're trying to master like 10 different styles, that more so tells me that you're not a team that's figured out what works for you yet. And that's what I think Fnatic is at right now. I don't think that they know what works for them, which is kind of the situation they were in the entire year last year. So I don't know. There needs to be some kind of improvement before I give the nod to Fnatic. I think they're looking like the EU TSM right now.
What do you think about Rogue? Because Rogue looks pretty interesting. They also lost this week too. They're not undefeated anymore. They lost to Schalke.
Yeah, and I'll say this again. I don't care that they're 6-1. G2 is still better. I don't care. Like, they are a fantastic mid to late game team because they have 2 star carries, Larson and Hansama. You can't tell me that this Rogue team will perform well internationally because Inspired and their top side of the map, like Odo Omne is fine, but Inspired is not going to consistently get them ahead early game. So I still don't see how they survive the early game against great teams. I think they're going to get to Worlds. I think that they're the clear number 2 team right now, but I think that Schalke could eventually give them a run for their money. I'd love to see a best of 5 between Schalke and Rogue. Like that is a series that could be really interesting because I think that one team wants to play towards early game and top side control, and the other team wants to play towards dragon stacking and trying to get into mid to late game. And it's just 2 very contrasting styles that I think that Schalke will do much better in a international setting than Rogue will. But
I also hope that Mad Lions fix their top lane situation because Armut does look like a better carry than Arome. But Aloye, that's the guy's name, Aloye. I don't know. I don't know. He's looking really sus.
I still don't understand why anyone in the LCS and LEC are picking Aatrox top. I will still fucking badger that home. Like, I don't get it. It is a cop-out pick that doesn't do anything. So seeing Armwood play Aatrox just made me want to smash my computer again. But besides that, I agree that he's better than Arome. So we'll see what happens. I think Mad Lions is...
What other team is there? Oh, yeah, Team Vitality. They had a good week 1, and they just fucking suck. I think Malik's still solid, but... Yeah, that team stinks, man. Oh my god, Excel is in their own league of trash. There's some.
It's really hard to care about any other team besides those top 5, right? Like,
yeah,
they're all just in a clump that's. They just haven't even figured out what the fuck to do with their team yet. They haven't even figured out who the carry is. Like,
I like their new mid and top laner, Hirit and Vithio. They're pretty solid overall. I think they have a bright future. But the thing with Misfits is, it's like. Every problem, every single time we see Misfits, it's like, when does it go bad? Because you know it's gonna go bad at some point.
Yeah,
Schalke will win Worlds. Maybe tonight I'm getting sexed by Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
he just looked at me like.
I don't know. I think that you're obviously memeing, but I actually do think that Schalke has the better chance out of Rogue and Fnatic of making a deeper run at Worlds. Genuinely speaking, I think that they have like the style that seems to work internationally, which is early game into top lane prio right now. So, for what it's worth, I think they're looking solid. They have a clear style, which is exciting to see.
All right, you want to predict the matches for next week? Actually, that's the last thing we'll do because I know you're probably tired to get the head out of here.
Yeah, I got work tomorrow.
Work? What? Work? What is this work you gotta do? What does this work you mean? Let's do the Oh, we actually have some news for the LEC. Magic Felix is starting over Nuke Duck. Nuke Duck takes off for personal reasons. The hyped up Fnatic Academy mid laner that a lot of Fnatic fans are hyped up for, Magic Felix is starting for Astralis.
I'm excited to see this. I'm happy
for him. I'm happy for him. Hey man, do well, dude. Because it's not every day you get a shot at fucking making money playing video games. All right, so on Friday, Schalke versus Astralis. Schalke. Team Vitality versus Excel. Fuck. Waste my time.
I think Team Vitality. I think that they have the stronger early game.
G2 Misfits.
G2. Obviously G2. Oh yeah.
Rogue and Mad Lions.
Rogue for sure.
Fnatic SK. I would just say Fnatic.
Yo, this could be interesting. I'm telling you. Like, I don't trust Fnatic, but I will give them like it's like 60-40. I don't think it's like 80-20.
Hey, if SK win T-Root when we do our video, I'm gonna just laugh.
Yeah, dude, I'm just telling you that SK is somewhat dangerous. We'll see.
They got that TS. Oh, forgot that's the team Treats is on that TSM syndrome. Vitality versus SK for Saturday. Fuck SK.
I think SK. Yeah.
Astralis Misfits.
Ooh, that's tough. Astralis was decent this weekend. Besides, like, they ended too. Oh, dude, that's tough. I don't know. I have no clue, actually.
Undecided.
Neither. They draw somehow.
Schalke versus Mad Lions. I'm going to say Schalke. I like Schalke's team, actually.
Yeah, I completely agree. Fnatic over Excel.
Fnatic, yeah. Rogue will win versus G2. Rebecca, no
shot.
Oh yeah, this is the match of the week right here.
Okay, this is the match that will prove my suspicions that Rogue is an imposter. So as long as there's no internet issues, I believe that G2 will shit stomp Rogue. So we'll see. If I'm wrong, I will come on here and I'll admit it. I don't think that Rogue is all that.
You have to wear a G2 jersey and say how much you love Carlos.
Oh shit, dude! I don't have a G2 jersey. Fuck, I gotta buy one.
For the LCS of Super Week, I forgot, every week's a Super Week. So you got 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. Probably 100 Thieves.
Ooh, that's again. It might be close, dude. Jose Diodo and Licorice might be able to. No, 100 Thieves because someday. Okay.
That's not a matchup. That's not a match. That's literally a one-sided C9. Oh, C9's undefeated going up against EG or 2-1. EG didn't look terrible.
Yeah. I think it's C9.
TSM Golden Guardians. Do I just waste my time watching these last games?
They gotta bounce back this week, right? TSM does.
Dude, you hope
that can't be as bad as last week. They usually improve. I'll give Bjergsen's coaching pedigree a benefit of the doubt and assume that they improve.
They almost went 0-3. That's so scary to think about.
Yeah.
Dig into Immortals, no one wins that. My time gets
No. I think Immortals wins that.
Immortals actually does look better.
Yeah,
though.
Revenge is looking decent. I think that their jungler is just inting it as hard as he possibly can right now. Mm-hmm. But if he tones it back a little bit, I think they have a shot. Yeah.
FlyQuest versus CLG.
FlyQuest.
Yeah. Oh, we have two matches of the week.
It's hard to always root against CLG, but that's just how it is. If you fucking draft Finn, dude, I'm gonna root against you every single time. Sorry.
Two match of the weeks: TL versus TSM, C9 versus 100 Thieves. The two undefeated. Oh, hopefully they'll be undefeated by this day, but it'll be the best teams in the league going at it. 100 Thieves could still win. I'll say that, but no, C9 probably gonna win.
I think C9 will win. As long as Blabber's still smurfing and Pisslow, it's just a mismatch against Closer. Yeah.
Dig versus Golden Guardians.
Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
Iconic will be enough to take that.
What? You don't like Dardoch at all? You're a Dardoch hater.
No, I'm not a Dardoch hater. I just think that he is a good. He's good at elevating a garbage team to mid level, but he doesn't have enough around him to win any game by himself right now.
TL versus TSM. TL should probably end up clapping them like they did before.
Yeah. Oh, it's not gonna be close. It's gonna be brutal.
Oh, EG versus the Immortals?
EG
probably should win this. And the last day, okay, TL versus 100 Thieves. Okay.
Actually, I want to change my prediction for EG versus Immortals. I think it's going to be Immortals. That's going to be my
one hot take pick.
The one that I get. Yeah, that'll be the one.
100 Thieves versus TL. I'll say this. It's a good. Hey, if we're doing it, I'll say 100 Thieves will win this. It's a good shot they win.
Okay, I'm still going to stick with TL. I'm not going to predict them against. Yeah, TL will win for sure.
To be fair, it is the top three. It's like the top three teams going at it, so it could go either way, honestly. But
wait, do I want to change my hot take to Immortals TSM?
Immortals
That's so much more spicy. Let's see.
You're gonna be like,
honestly though, Revenge. The chance of Revenge clapping Huni is higher than Revenge clapping Impact. Because Impact just absorbs all the pressure, right?
Yeah, Huni is just
okay. I'm switching it. I'm thinking that Immortals beats TSM now, and loses to EG.
If TSM loses this game, holy shit! The amount of memes that'll come out of this. TSM, you better win for me. EG Dignitas. Okay, what EG C9 FlyQuest? That should be pretty free.
C9, yeah.
And then the last game
C9A versus C9.
And then Golden Guardians. You just don't like CLG.
I kind of that's gonna be close. CLG can definitely win that one. I hope for the sake of Smoothie they do.
But
poor guy's playing out of his mind.
This was a great first episode of the G2 Fancast, Season 1, Episode 1. So someone's gonna ask, why did you rename it again? Because I don't know. My brain thought of it as a great idea, and it turned out pretty well. So hey, I like it. I also wanted it to match the pre-recorded show of my two favorite teams. And G2 or C9 eventually one day will win Worlds. Maybe C9. Well, it's hard to say which one will ever win Worlds or a Western team. You know, but yep, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys later on. If you guys do watch the stream later on, just make sure you like the stream and comment down below. And I can't wait to have the LCS 2021 Spring Split Week 2 start up this week. LEC 2021 Spring Split Week 4. They're on Week 4 already. Holy shit. Now, We'll be on our way out of here. See you guys later. Goodbye. See you guys next week. I forgot these episodes are Monday. I might actually change the time. 6:30 p.m. Is that better?
Yeah, PST. So
yeah. Episodes every Monday, 6:30 p.m. PST. Bye, Rebecca.
That might not work. That might be too late.
Or maybe 5:30. What? That's
5:30.
It's 5:30.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
My brain.
Right now it's 5:30. I like to keep it that way because I gotta go to bed at 10:30.
I'll give you $1,000. Fresh $1,000 on stream.
All right.
Bye, Rebecca, Ziak, Ryan, T-Root. I'll see you later on tonight since we're actually doing a video. See you guys later. Goodbye. Good night, dude.
Peace, dude.